Well, she grew up on the Mexico-U.S. border and is now sharing her immigrant story, hoping to get high school students to connect with the world of classical music. Meet Daniela Valdez.
Articulate every note, the down bow and the up bow.
Inside a Maine West High School classroom, Daniela Valdez has struck a chord with students.
1, 2, 1, and.
She's one of few Latina conductors in the U.S. and certainly one of few within the Illinois school system. Her story is both connecting with her students and motivating them.
I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, border town, and I'm first generation.
Her love of music started early on. She was a kid when she caught the tunes of a school orchestra and never looked back.
I remember hearing them in the hallway when I was in 4th grade, I think, going like, I want to do that. And I came home and I just told my mom and dad, I was like, I want to play the violin. And they were like,
But why the violin of all things?
Exactly. Just did it. That's what I wanted to do.
That led her to music school, later a master's program, and eventually to conduct the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra.
I grew up watching telenovelas. I grew up listening to Juan Gabriel. I mean, that man oozed passion in his music. So yeah, a lot of how I feel is stemmed from what I grew up with.
It wasn't until college that she realized the lack of Latino representation in classical music. It's estimated that less than 10% of conductors are Latinos and even fewer Latinas. It's why Valdez isn't playing it by ear, but focused on making sure her students feel they belong.
When I share those stories, and I share maybe even like tough stories, like when things were not as good, I think that is what really makes an impact on the students, and they're listening more than sometimes we think they are, and watching more than we think they are, and but just being that role model.
Many of them have an immigrant journey of their own and look to her for guidance.
People like Miss Valdez who are courageous enough, who are brave enough to stand up and to enter these fields deserve the most amount of respect possible.
She kind of gives us the performance experience that you'll get when you're older in high school.
While classical music has traditionally been linked to Europe, it doesn't have to remain that way.
That's changing because there's a lot of Latino composers, and that's really changing, and that's really exciting.
Valdez is even more excited to learn that her love of music is helping shape a new generation who, like her, are marching to a new tune of classical musicians.
There's still so much stuff that I want to do, and reach out to the community and be that for the community and for other, little girls or boys that look like me.
Very cool. A lot of love for her there at Maine West High School. She's going to be performing at Orchestra Hall in April. Next on Adelante Chicago, when we come back, Latinas in Comedy. It's a world that's growing, and a group of women hope to get you to pay attention with a fun night out.
If you want to bite, smile, and chew with confidence, call Dr. Emmerich Singh and Periodontal Implant Associates today and get the smile you've always wanted.
One visit and you'll see why Dr. Singh is the premier dental implant surgeon in Chicagoland, who has performed over 50,000 procedures.
Plus, Dr. Singh provides dramatically lower prices than national chains. And Dr. Singh uses world-class minimally invasive implant technology, which replaces all your teeth in just one visit. Get the smile you've always wanted. Call Dr. Singh today and get started with your free consultation.
Class, what are some ways homeowners can reinvest in their homes?
By replacing their windows.
Exactly. What are some options?
Double hungs.
Yes.
Give their home a makeover with a new window color.
Great idea.
White or black.
How about change the grip patterns?
Keep them coming. There's no such thing as a bad idea.
How about a window made out of licorice?
Except that one. That was a bad idea. Save up to 50% on all style windows. No payments until 2026. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
This is Steve and Samantha Malman. With decades of experience fighting nursing home negligence, they know justice for your family matters. And when nursing homes won't look out for your loved ones, this team will. This is Malman Law. We know what matters most.
A dentist who moonlights as a DJ, Tuesday on WGN News at 9.
Well, welcome back to Adelante Chicago. The ladies de la comedia. Their stories are real. The humor's one that many Latinas can actually relate to. They are everyday stories that will have you rolling on the floor wanting more. Latinas in Comedy is a new show that Janice Rodriguez, the executive producer of, started. She is now holding the second annual Latina Comedy Festival, year número dos.
Yes.
All right, you're keeping it going.
Keeping it
Have
going.
it coming back. I love it because I told you earlier that one of my favorite women is a woman in comedy, and that is Ana Belaval. But I know that oftentimes it's so difficult for Latinas, I mean, I think Latinos in general, to get into comedy. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're looking at just the normal, kind of like the top comedy clubs, you kind of see who's on there, and we're just not seeing ourselves enough, you know? So it really is hard to break through in general, and then to kind of break through and get on those kind of lineups and get into those bigger venues. So, I mean, we're just happy to do Latina Comedy Festival, hopefully to kind of bring more exposure to comedians. They're coming in from all over the country. And I really feel like these are comedians that should be household names. And we're just trying to elevate their presence, give them more recognition, and introduce a lot of them who are coming to Chicago for the first time.
Yeah, so it's a way to get people to get to know some of these faces that should become familiar. Okay, tell me about the women that are going to be performing. Tell me a little bit about each of them.
Yes, well, I wish I could. There's 36 of them. I don't think we have enough time, but just highlight a few of our local talent. Gwen Laraca is going to be our headliner for the headliner shows we're having on Saturday night, October 7th. And she was on HBO Max. She won the Latino Comedy Festival contest that was on HBO. And she's just amazing and has done so much great comedy. We have Sherry Diaz coming in from New York, who has some great credentials, and Glorelis Mora, she's been on, we have people coming in from Comedy Central, Vice. I mean, these are like
it's
heavy
everywhere,
hitters. Yeah, they really are. And then we do have some like kind of new fresh faces. It's going to be something really for everyone.
Okay, is this something that they're doing anywhere else in the country? Because I feel like it's one of the first times that I hear of a show specifically for Latinas.
Yes, to my knowledge, we are the only ones doing all Latina. There's a couple other comedy kind of showcases that involve like theater and improv and things like that. But as far as Latina stand-up comedy, which is where we're focusing right now, we are the only ones.
Okay, what makes it so unique, Latinas in comedy? I guess, what are you noticing about the types of stories that they tell, what the audience is attracted to when it comes to Latinas in comedy? What can you tell us about it?
I mean, we really just are coming from so many different different backgrounds,
viewpoints,
different viewpoints, and we're just hilarious. Like, I don't, if I do say myself, I am completely biased.
Okay.
But just like the raw, like, you know how it is growing up Latino, like just the energy you get from your family, and we all have that kind of, that background that is just giving us just a different viewpoint and how we make sense of our world, you know, like today. So I just think it's amazing, and everyone just, we can be talking about relationships, we can talk about, you know, kids and everything, and everyone's just gonna have a different kind of a viewpoint.
Yeah.
And it's just really amazing to see all of that talent and bringing it all into one space.
So it's sort of the humor that comes with our culture. It is very
absolutely.
unique. I would agree with that. Yeah,
it is.
Okay, so if folks want to get more information of Latinas in comedy, where should they go? How do they become a part of these shows that are going to be happening around town?
Well, you can find out everything about the festival, which is happening October 5th through 7th at latinacomedyfestival.com. And then our ongoing showcase, it's produced by the team behind Las Locas Comedy, which also includes me. So that's laslocascomedy.com. And that's going to be for the monthly showcases we do here in Chicago.
And you've got a few different locations. You said Reggie's, Lincoln Lodge, JoJo's. So you're going to be all over town.
Be all over town. Yeah, we want to make it accessible. We want everyone to come out. So I know some people are very neighborhood specific. So we try to get around as much as possible.
Okay. And I mentioned that you're the executive producer of this whole show. But she's also performing, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me a little bit about your comedy and the show that you're putting out there for folks that maybe are just now getting to know you.
Yeah, well, you know, I think I have a little different viewpoint. I am, I'm going to tell you guys this. I am 44 years old.
34?
No,
oh,
44.
44.
And,
even worse. No, I'm kidding.
Look at the skin. No, I'm joking. As I say, brown don't frown. And I have no kids. So that's one of the big things. I don't have kids. We're fighting against stereotypes. I am married, but I mean, I just think I have a kind of a unique viewpoint of the things I talk about, because it goes a little bit counter to what some stereotypes are about Latina women, right? So really love that. That's what I'm talking about. But I talk about a lot of things. Growing up Northwest Indiana, growing up with 2 Puerto Rican parents, trying to make sense of kind of growing up in a white neighborhood, like all these different things. That's just me. And again, everybody's going to bring their different viewpoints into where they're at now, kind of their backgrounds, and kind of how, you know, their Latina experience kind of influenced them today.
Shape them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you know what? I think in these days, comedy is something we need more of.
Absolutely.
Right? When we're going through such a difficult time in our city and really around the country. So,
Thank
good luck.
you.
You got
Let's do
this.
it.
You got this. Latinas in Comedy. Again, you can find them by going to
LatinaComedyFestival.com.
There you go.